Payoff pitch on the ground, coming home with it. And the tag save. And Birdie gets in.
We're highlighting the Cubs base running in a 7-0 rout of the Rangers. Felt like 20-0 because of the 30-degree weather at Wrigley Field. But I want to point out something here. Nathan Eovaldi, the Cubs had a tell with Nathan Eovaldi. Every single time he did this, which you're going to see, the Cubs stole. Why do you think that is? It's because guys like Quentin Berry are now on the Cubs coaching staff. Quentin Berry, in case you didn't know, he came in and he said, hey, I just watched every single Cubs base running mistake from 2024, and here's what you guys did wrong. I'm going to quiz you on this in spring training. I'm quoting this probably really incorrectly, but this was something that they talked about on the marquee broadcast, and this got impact. That's why you've been seeing the base running just go to the next level for the Cubs here in 2025. So let's go to the video. And again, the Cubs stole 5 bases. 4 of them resulted in runs. And this was the only one in at bat with Pete Crow Armstrong that did not result in a run, but it's very telling. And I also got to give props to the guy because this was a 5-pitch walk, and you can just see the patience. A lot of times, these pitches right around the corners are what PCA is going to be swinging at, but he didn't swing the bat the entire plate appearance, and it resulted in a 5-pitch walk. Eovaldi's not happy with himself, knows that Pete is not a guy he wants to have on base, and here comes Jon Berti. Now here's the key thing that I want to point out to you as PCA is on first base. Every time Nathan Eovaldi had a runner on first base that was capable of stealing, they did not steal with the slide step. They stole when Nathan Eovaldi actually did his leg kick. So you might be wondering to yourself, why is it that the Cubs ran so much on such a cold night? Temperatures under freezing, the hamstrings can tighten up. Well, it's because Kyle Higashioka was behind the plate, and as you can see on your screen here, he doesn't throw out runners. Last year in the 25th percentile for caught stealing above average, and his pop time in the 10th percentile, so not good. Now, Nathan Eovaldi does have a really quick slide step, so anytime that he's doing that, even though Kyle Higashioka is slow behind the plate, it doesn't give the Cubs a very good opportunity to successfully steal a base. So what did? They waited for the leg kick. As you can see here on the very first pitch, you've got the slide step. Pete stays put. Berti fouls it away. Next pitch. All right, little lean there from Pete, but he goes back to the base. He's safe on the pickoff attempt. And then on the 0-1, here comes slide step again. Pete stays put. And then on the 1-1, slide step again. Stays put. Eovaldi's like, okay, I'm not throwing well with the slide step. A little bit of body language there shows us, okay, he might go back to the leg kick, and that's exactly what he does on the 2-1. As soon as that leg kicks up, look at the very slight pause. Usually for PCA, it's the extreme. He's going as soon as that first move is made, but you can see the leg is already lifted up a little bit. Pete has not moved. Leg almost all the way up, still has not moved. And then he sees, okay, that's a leg kick. That's not a slide step, and he's going. That's how easy it is to steal off of Eovaldi when he does that leg kick. And then with Higashioka behind the plate, there is just absolutely no chance. Pete's got 99th percentile speed. So taking that into account, we're going to look at the rest of the stolen bases. There's still 4 more left to go. Jon Berti in the 3rd inning, Cubs are up 1-0 already, and this is another thing I want to highlight. Just great Cubs at bats because of guys like Berti on the team. He gets down 0-2, then he takes the fastball inside, he fouls off the next one, takes the next one, then another fastball down the middle, fouls it away. 92 on that one. Eovaldi's velocity was a little bit down this night. Curveball down low, fouls it away. Another fastball fouls it away, and then Eovaldi goes to the split finger pitch on a night where it's cold, can't feel his fingers as well. That split finger probably not working like he wanted it to. It hits Jon Berti, and he's off to first base. So, is he going when there is a slide step? No. First pitch to Gage Workman on the outside corner, a little changeup or something. Second pitch, there's the leg kick, and there he goes, swing and a miss, and he is so safe. Jon Berti, if you are wondering, in the 91st percentile in speed last year. And as soon as that leg goes up, it's just an easy stolen base for the fast guys. Then, 2 pitches later, after a strikeout to Gage Workman, first pitch, that leg kick goes up, and Jon Berti is stealing third base. He knows even though that's a shorter throw from Higashioka, Eovaldi does that leg kick, that pop time behind home plate, that throwing arm is just not good enough. So easy stolen base all day long, and now he's on third base with less than 2 outs. Ian Happ is good at driving those runs home, and here is one of those non-stolen base, really good decisions Really great base running that John Birdie and the Cubs did on this night. Ground ball to first base. John Birdie did not hesitate. He scores. We're going to look at a better angle on this one. Even before that pitch is hit, his momentum is going towards home plate. And as soon as it's hit, he's off with 91st percentile speed. Any sort of bobble, hesitation, it wasn't even really a hesitation. He's just over there. Jake Burger's just gathering the throw. And John Birdie, if that throw is on the mark, which is really difficult, by the way, as a first baseman, you're being rushed like this. If that throw is on the mark, you've got a chance. But John Birdie gets it in, throws a little bit high. You can see it right there on the plate. Hand is on the plate, and a good foot or 2 feet away is the glove from Higashioka. Boom. Cubs up 2-0. And hello, John Birdie, into my living room. Whoop. Fifth inning now, Seiya Suzuki up, and this right here is what we call a setup sin because it's a 2-out walk. You don't want to do that. That just puts yourself in trouble. Seiya with a great take on a full count, and Seiya's sprint speed, not as fast as Birdie or PCA, but still in the 76th percentile. There's the leg kick, and there he goes. Bush taking all the way, Seiya not even close, especially on an off-speed pitch. He's like, oh, look, that does work. Leg kick, we're going. And then what happens with 2 outs? Well, Michael Bush, he shows off the speed. This is not one of our base running highlights, but it is cool. It is fun. It is one of the most underrated plays in baseball. It is a triple. Cubs up 3-0 with the weather the way it is. That feels like 10-0, to be completely honest. All right, 6th inning. PCA, again, showing patience. Takes the first 2 pitches. Singles on the third. Miguel Amaya is going to third base with the wheels, and PCA says, well, if you're going to throw to third base, I'm going to second. That's one of our other highlights because it was huge. It was a huge play. Is he probably stealing no matter what for second base, even if he stays on first? Yeah, probably, but this just makes it easier, speeds up the process. So there's your second highlighted base running play for the Cubs. Just keeping the line moving. And then 2 outs later, Ian Happ drives them both home with a little soft single the other way. This starts a 2-out rally. PCA high fives the fans. How about that? Have you ever seen a player go and high five fans right after scoring? I probably have seen that. I just don't remember. But that was kind of cool. So then on the first pitch, by the way, this is a new pitcher now. So we don't have Nathan Eovaldi in there anymore. And Ian Happ, who's only 54th percentile in sprint speed, he knows that as long as he just gets any sort of decent jump, he's making it to second base because Higashioka behind the plate, just not all that effective. And what happens? Kyle Tucker, another 2-out hit, another 2-out run-scoring single, and the Cubs are up 6-0. And what happens? Oh, the throw goes home because Adolis Garcia just basically says, well, if you guys are just going to steal second anyway, I might as well try to throw you out at home. So Tucker gets to second on the throw home. That's your third highlighted base running. Great decision. Very next batter, will Seiya Suzuki, a little off the end of the bat, but it's served into center field. Drops in. Kyle Tucker scores. Cubs score 4 with 2 outs, which they've done a great job of this year. In case you're wondering, 2 outs, runners in scoring position. This team is basically a Kyle Tucker at the plate. 329 batting average, 480 on base, 513 slugging. That comes out to a 993 OPS. Small sample size, 13 games, but I will freaking take that. Cubs get the win 7-0. And by the way, Justin Steele looked phenomenal. 7 innings, no runs, and that is his 3rd win of the season already.